So my name is Dave, or Dave Emke, and I grew up in Wisconsin, and now I live in the ashram here at Mount Soma. So ashram is like a full-time volunteer staff program. So we're here full-time, we take care of Mount Soma, we all have many different tasks, we're volunteers so we don't get paid, and it's kind of like a work-study program. We do the meditation retreats, and we run the retreats, and we study with Dr. Michael Mamas, our guru or teacher here at Mount Soma, and that's what we do. So I have a lot of different tasks, as a lot of people do. I am one of the main cooks. So some people rotate cooking. I do most of the Indian cooking. So I've grown to find that I love to do Indian cooking. And maybe I was an Indian chef in a past life or something, you know. I do a lot. I run the visitor center. So from a day-to-day operation standpoint, if you call to try to book a room, or if you call with questions, or if you want to learn meditation, you're probably going to find me in the visitor center. So I teach a lot of meditation and interact with people and check people and, run the hotel aspect of what we do here at Mount Soma and manage the visitor center and cook a lot of food. And last week I repainted the inside of the temple for we had a cloche. We had a leak in the roof and ceiling in the cloche, so we had to take the cloche off and fix do those repairs, and then I got to repaint the temple. So you find in the ashram you do many different things. Never imagined I'd do so many things. With Dr. Michael Mamas, he's the most incredible person I've ever encountered. So I guess for me at a young age, I would say, and just throughout my childhood and adolescence, I was always lived a life that was very confused, and the world never really made sense to me. And it was like the way people treated each other when you turn on the news and the things that you see, to the way the kids on the playgrounds treat each other, to everything about our world I found to be confusing and just didn't really make sense. It's like it didn't fit. And I think as a kid, I was kind of wondering what I was doing here in a lot of ways. So that created frustration, and I kind of went through a period of my life where I was rebelling in a sense and partying too much and going to college and all those things. But again, always in a state of confusion. And I didn't really know that I was looking for anything at the time, but in retrospect, I realized that I was searching in my own way for an understanding of life that made sense, something that fit. When I had gone to church as a kid, or the religious organizations, or my teachers, or my parents even, I wasn't given an understanding of life and existence that made sense to me. And that wasn't anyone's fault. That was just the world I grew up in. So then at one point I decided to make a lot of changes in my life, and I went to chiropractic college. And I really decided I wanted to try to help people. I wanted to do something where I was able to benefit other people. And then I'd also always had this sense that I should meditate, and it didn't really fit with my lifestyle, or it wasn't, congruent with the way I was living in my early 20s, but it was always there in the back of my mind. And I got to chiropractic school, and I was making a lot of changes, and there was this guy, Todd, who's also a student of Dr. Mamas's, and he taught me to meditate. So he's like, "Oh, I teach meditation." And I said, "Oh, I've been meaning to learn." So there I wouldn't necessarily say for the first time in my life, but for one of the first times in my life, I felt like a fish in water, like I was meditating. And it reminded me of, I don't know, playing sports or football or something. It felt natural to me. So I learned meditation, and I didn't even know Dr. Mamas at the time, but that was his meditation, the Surya meditation. And immediately things started to shift for me in terms of the way I saw the world and the way I related to life. And then Todd gave me one of Dr. Mamas's books called The Golden Frog. So I read that book, and it was like I'd never had such a powerful experience from reading a book before, or anything along those lines. It was just like I knew this man, and he was my teacher, and I could just feel that before I'd even met him, in a sense. So then I started to take classes. He teaches classes in California as well as classes here at Mount Soma, so on both coasts. And again, then it was like, finally, somebody who could put all the pieces of the puzzle together for me. Finally, somebody who could explain life and existence and karma and everything in a manner that really made sense and really fit from a scientific perspective, a very rational perspective, and also from a perspective of the heart and a perspective of the feelings. It was like a teaching that was full, and I had never experienced that before. So that was a huge transitional point in my life. And I pretty much haven't missed a class since then. That was, March of 2008, I believe. And I came out here to Mount Soma for the first time in 2009. So winter of 2009, I took a quarter off of chiropractic college, and I came here for a 6-week deep meditation course. And then that was like, wow. The way I described it to one person at the time, I can remember, it was like I felt like I could breathe for the first time in my life. In a sense, it was like I felt at home. And that was a combination of this place, I think, and all that meditation. And again, I'm just a fish in water with meditation. And the teachings of Dr. Mamas and all that kind of put together. And it was like, it clicked. And I knew I wanted to be here. So I went back to California, which is where I was in chiropractic school, and I finished up school. And about 15 months later, I was here. So that was summer of 2010. And I joined the ashram, and I've been here for about 5.5 years. So, in a nutshell, that's the story.
So, how your parents took your decision?
My parents took my decision very well. So I'm very fortunate in that way that my family is very supportive and genuinely supportive. So my mom, I think, especially kind of connected with my decision in a way that I almost kind of feel like, and she's never said this, but I almost kind of feel like it's in some way what she wanted, or maybe not even knowing it, but a part of her always wanted to live a life like this, although it didn't go that route. She had the family and, the more normal American life. And my dad, too, I think at first especially, there was a part of him, of course, that wanted me to practice and use my degree, and I do maintain my chiropractic license, but, move on with my career in a sense. But there's also a part of him that really genuinely was happy for me to find something that I was happy to do, too. And I would say that they're both spiritual people, and they're both, they're both really good people in that sense. Do I inspire other people? You have to ask them, I guess. I can tell that we have an effect on people that come here. I can tell we have an effect on the visitors. I can tell we have an effect, but at the same time, it's like most people, this is just not where they're at in their lives. So really, for somebody to end up here doing what I'm doing, which is kind of at the extreme end of the bell curve, in a sense, that's about them. It's about their relationship with life. It's about their relationship with what they want. And this isn't what most people want. Not to say that it should or shouldn't be. Of course, I think it should be, but of course, other people have other things that they prioritize. So for most people, this just isn't where their life's direction is headed. And that's an important point because it doesn't have to be. Meditation can benefit every person on this planet. And as a collective whole, the more people meditate, the more it benefits everyone. The more consciousness we infuse into life. It's amazing how many people, say, I don't have time to meditate. The studies show that people who meditate are more effective with their time. So it's a paradox. But so that's where I start with people is meditation, and of course that's the fundamental foundation of Dr. Mamas' teachings and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's teachings, meditation. Step one, and then if people can get into meditation, they can come to do classes here or things. My sister's come for class, and she really had a good time. And I know lots of people come for class. Now she's not going to join the ashram, but I do think that it inspired. I helped to inspire her to want to look deeper inside of herself. And that's all you can really ask for, is you help. If you're inspiring people, you're not inspiring them. I don't try to inspire people to join the ashram, but maybe I can help to inspire some people to look deeper in themselves. And then that's all I can, then from there, their life will go the direction it'll go. And then if people can come for meditation retreats, that's great, It's just, there's so many steps. So it's not like it's join the ashram or don't be spiritual, It's like, well, try to meditate. And if you can't do twice a day, start with once a day. If you miss a day, so what? But try to meditate. And then if you get that, they try to come to classes and try to work with, what's a rishi, right? A seer. Try to work with somebody who can see a little bit further than you can see. And they can help you to see further. And they can kind of help to direct you because you can't, they can see what you can't, so they can kind of say, oh no, kind of come this way or that way, And then if you're doing that, it's like try to come to the retreats so you can go to some deep meditation where you rest deeply inside yourself. And then if you can do that, then try to move to Mount Soma. If you work from home if you can, or there's always another level.